How to talk about your day. Today, I have a simple question for you. Can you describe your day in English? What do you say after, I woke up? Many learners stop there because they do not know what to say next. But do not worry, you are not the only one. In this lesson, I will show you how to speak about your whole day in simple English. Even with a small vocabulary, you can do it. Write in the comments, what time do you wake up every day? Let me know. Now, let us begin. Chapter 1. I wake up. I wake up. Sunlight comes through my window and my eyes open slowly. I still feel sleepy and I want to stay in bed a little longer. But morning has arrived, so I sit up and take a deep breath. The room is quiet. I look around and tell myself, good morning. These are the first English words of my day. I want to speak English every day, so I start immediately, even before I leave my room. Even when I am alone, I say, good morning. It feels simple, but it helps. My voice may be soft, but I can hear it. I understand it. That small moment is already a step forward. I get out of bed, stretch my arms, and walk to the bathroom. I say, I am going to the bathroom. Then I look in the mirror, smile, and say, I am brushing my teeth. I pick up my toothbrush and name it in English. I count slowly while I brush. 1, 2, 3. Counting in English keeps my mind inside the language. Then I wash my face. The water feels cold, so I say, I am washing my face. I look in the mirror again and say, I look tired, but I feel okay. These small sentences matter. They belong to my real morning, and they become real practice. I return to my room and get dressed. I say, I am putting on my clothes. I choose a shirt and describe it. This shirt is blue. I put on my pants and say, these are my pants. Then I sit on my bed for a moment and look outside. If the sky is bright, I say, it is sunny. If the sky is gray, I say, it is cloudy. Every sentence gives me another chance to learn. At first, talking to myself in English felt strange. Now it feels natural. It is my private way to practice. I do not need a classroom. I do not need a partner. I only need to describe my own life. Morning is the perfect time to do this because every day begins in almost the same way. I can repeat the same words again and again, and repetition is powerful for learning. When I first started, I did not know many words. I only knew small phrases like wake up, brush teeth, and eat. But I said them every day, and slowly my brain remembered them. The words became easier, and my sentences became longer. Now I can say, I wake up at 7 o'clock. I brush my teeth, I wash my face, and I feel fresh. These are small steps, but they are real victories. Sometimes I use my phone camera. I look at myself and say, good morning. Today is Monday. I feel happy. Then I record it, listen to it, and smile. I am learning, even if my English is not perfect. Many learners stay silent because they are waiting for perfect sentences. I do not wait. I speak with the English I have. Even if it is simple, even if it is slow, I speak because speaking is how I grow. You do not need difficult grammar. You do not need advanced words. Just say what you do, what you see, and what you feel. In the morning, I say, I am sleepy. After a shower, I say, I feel better. I look inside my bag and name the things I use. I say, this is my notebook. This is my pen. These are the things I need. English is already around me. I only have to notice it and say it aloud. There was a time when I could not say one sentence. Now I can describe my morning in English. That did not happen by magic. It came from practice, small practice, daily practice, simple practice. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, try this. Say 3 simple sentences in English. Look around your room. What do you see? What are you doing? Say it out loud. No one is judging you. You are safe to speak. You are free to make mistakes. You are not only learning English, you are training your brain and changing the way you think. This is not just a routine. This is power. It is the power of simple English, the power of one new sentence each day. One day, you will smile and remember the first time you said, I wake up. That was the beginning. Now you can speak. Let us continue. Chapter 2. I eat breakfast. After I wake up and get ready, I begin to feel hungry. My stomach makes a sound almost as if it is saying, feed me. So I walk to the kitchen and begin another English practice. I say, I am eating breakfast. These words are simple, but they are useful. I say them slowly. I am eating breakfast. It is real English because I am using it in my real life. I open the cupboard and take out a plate. I say, this is my plate. Then I open the fridge and see some eggs. I say, I am eating eggs. I take out bread and say, I like bread. If I use butter, I say, I am putting butter on my bread. Every action becomes a sentence, and every sentence becomes practice. I do not need complicated grammar. I only need the life in front of me. I sit at the table and say, I am sitting at the table. I take a bite and say, I am eating my breakfast. I drink water and say, I am drinking water. If I drink tea, I say, I am drinking tea. If I eat fruit, I say, I am eating a banana. These short sentences help me speak without fear. I am not just reading a textbook, I am living in English. Some mornings I eat by myself. Other mornings I eat with my family. I can say, I am eating with my mother, or my brother is eating with me. I can ask simple questions like, do you want tea? Or, is this your cup? These are beginner sentences, but they are powerful because I use them in a real morning. Sometimes I feel lazy and want to skip practice. Then I remind myself that English is not only in books. English is also in daily life. If I can say, I am eating breakfast, I am growing. If I can say, this is hot, or this is sweet, I am learning. Even one word can help. I also add feeling words. I say, I feel happy, or I feel sleepy. Maybe I say, the tea is warm and it makes me feel good. Now I am not only using English, I am expressing my world in English. That is how fluency grows, little by little. I also practice with my phone. I open the camera and say, good morning. Today I am eating eggs and bread. I am drinking tea. I feel fine. Then I watch the video and think, wow, I can speak. That gives me hope. When I first began, I could only say broken words like eat, tea, and egg. Now I can say complete sentences. I eat breakfast every day. I like tea. I feel fresh after eating. Those sentences are the result of small practice. You do not always need a teacher for this. You can become your own teacher. Look at your food and talk about it. Say, "This is sweet. This is hot. I like this. I do not like that." Even if you only say one sentence, say it. Your brain will hear it. Your tongue will remember it. Do not wait until your English is perfect. Use the English you have right now. Speak slowly. Speak clearly. Speak from your heart. That is enough, and it is powerful. Sometimes I think of a new word and ask, "What is this in English?" I check my phone and learn one word. Maybe it is spoon. Maybe it is milk. Then I say it aloud. "This is a spoon. I drink milk." Now I have more tools in my English toolbox. I repeat the same sentences every morning. I eat breakfast. I drink tea. I feel good. I do not always need to change them. Repetition makes me faster, and repetition builds confidence. I remember when I could not say anything. Now I can explain what I eat. That is real progress. That is proof that I am learning, and it is a reason to smile in the morning. If you are learning English, try this tomorrow. When you eat, speak. Say simple things out loud, even if you are alone. Do not think, "I will speak later." Speak now. This is your moment. One day, you may sit at a table with someone who speaks English. You will say, "I eat bread. I like tea." They will understand you, and you will feel proud. This is how it begins, with breakfast, with small words, with real life. Keep going. You are doing well. Chapter 3. I go to work or school. After breakfast, it is time to leave. I get ready, pick up my bag, and say, "I am going to school," or "I am going to work." These are real words from my real day. Because I use these words every day, they are important. They are perfect for practice. I walk to the door and say, "I am leaving my house." I close the door and say, "I am locking the door." I take a deep breath. A new part of my day begins, and I want to speak English through every part of it. This part is about going outside. I walk to the street and look around. I see cars, bikes, and people. I say, "I see many cars. I see some people." Then I keep walking and say, "I am walking to school," or "I am walking to the bus stop." These words belong to my life, so I say them slowly. When I say them, I feel stronger. If I take the bus, I say, "I am waiting for the bus." When the bus arrives, I say, "The bus is here." I get on, sit down, and say, "I am sitting near the window." I look outside and say, "I see trees. I see shops." These sentences are small, but they are real. I do these things every day. Now I describe them in English. Some days I ride a bike, so I say, "I am riding my bike." Some days I travel by car, so I say, "I am going by car." These are useful phrases. I practice them while I travel. I do not have to study from a book. I just look around and speak. I also describe how I feel. I feel sleepy. I feel excited. Or I feel tired. Feeling words help me connect with the language. I do not only talk about actions. I also talk about emotions, and that makes my English feel real. I look at the clock and say, "It is 8 o'clock." Time words help me build better sentences like, "I go to school at 8 o'clock," or "I arrive at 8:15." These words are easy to learn because I use them every morning. If someone is with me, I practice with that person. I ask, "Are you ready?" They answer, and suddenly it becomes a real conversation. I do not need a long conversation. I only need a small one. One question, one answer. That is enough to begin. I remember the first time I said, "I go to school." It felt strange. My voice was quiet, and I was not sure of myself. Now I can say it with confidence because I have said it many times. That is the key. Say it again and say it every day. If you stay at home, you can still practice. You can say, "I am walking in my house," or "I am going to the kitchen." Your home is full of English practice. You just need to speak it. Some learners wait for class before they speak, but you do not have to wait. You can speak while you walk. You can speak on the bus. You can speak quietly to yourself. It is not strange, it is smart. I also think in English. I look at people and think, "He is walking," or "She is talking on the phone." These quiet thoughts are practiced too, and they are powerful. One day, a tourist asked me, "Where is the station?" I answered, "Go straight, then turn right." My English was simple, but he understood me. He smiled and said, "Thank you." That moment gave me confidence. It showed me that I could use English in the real world. So today, when you go to work or school, speak. Say what you do, what you see, and how you feel. Even 2 words help. Even 1 sentence helps. Just speak. If you do this every day, your English will grow, your fear will become smaller, and your confidence will become stronger. You do not need to say big things. Say real things. I walk. I see trees. I wait. I sit. I go. These words are your tools. Use them to build your English. The more you speak, the more you believe. The more you believe, the better you become. Your morning trip is not only a trip to school or work, it is a path toward fluency. Take the first step. Speak now. Chapter 4. I work or study. Now I arrive. I reach school or I reach work. I take a breath and my day really begins. I say, "I am starting my work," or "I am starting my class." These words help me begin in English too. I sit on my chair, open my bag, and take out my notebook. I say, "This is my notebook. I write in it." I take out a pen and say, "This is my pen. I use it every day." These small words connect English to real life. I look at the clock and say, "It is 9 o'clock. I am beginning." At school, I listen to the teacher and say, "I am listening carefully." I read the board and say, "I am reading what is on the board." Then I take notes and say, "I am writing down what I learn." Every action is practice. Every sentence is a chance. At work, I sit at my desk and say, "I am working at my desk." I type on my computer and say, "I am typing emails. I am checking messages." When I talk to coworkers, I say, "I am speaking with my team." These words are simple, useful, and real. Sometimes my brain feels tired and English feels heavy. When that happens, I stop and breathe. I tell myself, it is okay. One sentence is enough. Then I say, I study, I try, I grow. And I smile because I am still learning. I remember when I could not speak at all. Now I can say, I go to school, I sit in class, I study math, I read a book. These complete sentences are my steps forward. I also speak to myself during class or work. In my mind, I say, he is the teacher, he is writing, she is asking a question. I think in English quietly, and that quiet practice becomes power. When I raise my hand, I say, I have a question. It is a short sentence, but it feels big to me. It takes courage, but every time I say it, I feel stronger. Sometimes I make mistakes. I choose the wrong word. I forget the grammar. I feel shy. Then I remember that mistakes are not bad. Mistakes show that I am trying. If I feel confused, I ask for help. I say, can you say that again? Or, what does that mean? These sentences help me grow and show that I am brave enough to learn. I practice small conversations too. I say, good morning. I ask, how are you? I answer, I am fine, thank you. These sentences are not difficult, but they are real English. When the teacher asks a question, I try to answer. Maybe I only say a few words, but it still matters. I say, this is my answer. Even if I am wrong, I learn. I listen to other people and collect new words. I say, that is a new word. I will use it tomorrow. I write the word in my notebook and repeat it again and again. Those words become my small treasures. I grow one word at a time. When I study, I say, I study English. I read stories. I write sentences. These are real actions and real sentences. At work, I speak about my tasks. I say, I send emails. I answer calls. I help customers. When I am alone, I say these sentences out loud. It feels good to describe my work in English. Every word I speak is a step. Every sentence gives me power. I do not wait for the perfect moment. I use the moment I have. That is how I learn. That is how I win. If you are at school or at work, speak about what you do. Use simple English. Even if nobody is listening, say it. You are training your brain and building your voice. Your voice is strong. Every day you learn a little more and move a little farther. Keep going. You are not only working or studying, you are building a new version of yourself, one sentence at a time. Chapter 5. I talk with friends. After I study or while I work, I see my friends. They walk near me, smile, and say, hi. I smile back and say, hello. These simple words have power. They make me feel happy, and they help me speak English. I ask, how are you? My friend says, I am fine, and you? I answer, I am good. The sentences are small, but they are real. This is how people talk. I feel proud because I am speaking and connecting with another person. I sit with my friends and talk. I ask, what are you doing? My friend says, I am reading. I say, that is nice. Then I ask, do you like the book? These words are easy, but this is a real conversation. This is how I grow. Sometimes I feel shy and wonder, what if I say the wrong word? Then I breathe and remind myself that mistakes are okay. My friends are kind. They do not laugh at me. They wait and help me. When I hear a new phrase, I ask, what does that mean? My friend explains and I say, thank you. I write the word down and try to use it the next day. That is how I remember. That is how I learn, with real people and real conversations. Sometimes we joke and laugh. We say, that is funny. I feel good. I feel included. English helps me belong to the group. When we eat lunch together, I say, this food is good, or I like rice. I ask, what do you like? My friend says, I like chicken. I answer, me too. These are simple talks, but they are important. They are practice, and they are also joy. I remember when I could not talk. I sat in silence and watched other people speak. I wanted to join them, but the words did not come. I felt small. Now I speak slowly and simply, but I speak. That changes everything. I use the same words again and again. Hi, hello, how are you? I am good. I like this. Thank you. These are my building blocks. I use what I know, and that is how I improve. One time I forgot a word and stopped speaking. My friend helped me. She said the word, I repeated it, and we both smiled. That moment taught me something important. You do not have to be perfect. You only have to try. We also talk about class. I ask, did you understand the lesson? My friend says, a little. I say, me too. Let us study together. Then we help each other and learning feels easier. Speaking with friends feels safe. It is fun and full of little moments. Those little moments help me grow. I say more, feel better, and become stronger. Even if your friend speaks your first language, ask, can we try in English? Start with one sentence just for fun. Then try 2 sentences, then 3. You will smile, and you will feel proud. If you have no friend nearby, talk to yourself. Imagine a conversation. Say, I will ask this, and I will answer like this. Practicing in your mind is not strange. It is smart. This is how confident speakers begin. You do not need a huge vocabulary. You need your voice, your words, and your heart. You already have those. Talk to one person. Say one sentence. Say it slowly and with joy. You are not only learning English, you are building a life where you can speak and connect. One sentence can open a door. One smile can open your voice. Talk with friends. Talk without fear. Talk and grow. You are doing so well. Keep speaking. Chapter 6. I eat lunch. After a busy morning, I feel hungry again. My stomach makes a sound and I smile. I say, it is lunchtime. This is one of my favorite parts of the day. It is not only because of the food. Lunch is also another chance to speak English in a real and easy way. I sit down, take out my lunch, and say, this is my lunch. I open my lunchbox and describe what I see. I say, I have rice. I have chicken. I pick up a spoon and say, this is my spoon. Then I begin to eat. I say, I am eating rice. I am drinking water. These sentences are easy, but they are powerful because they are true. If I eat with friends, I speak more. I say, this food is hot. It is spicy. or I like the taste. My friend may say, "Me too," or "I do not like it." We laugh, talk, and connect, and all of this happens in English. I ask questions too. I say, "What do you have?" My friend says, "I have a sandwich." I answer, "It looks good. Did you make it?" These small sentences create big moments. They help me speak without fear. Sometimes we share food. I ask, "Do you want some?" My friend says, "Thank you." And I say, "You are welcome." Kind words build my confidence. They help me feel strong in English. I also talk about feelings. I am hungry. I feel full now. I want more, or I like sweet food. These words are easy to say, and they are very useful in life. I remember when I could not say anything. I ate my food quietly and watched others talk. I felt left out because I wanted to speak, but I was afraid. Now things are different because I started with one word, one sentence, one day at a time. Sometimes I take a photo of my lunch and say, "This is my lunch today. I like it." I use English and it feels fun. That is one of the best ways to grow. I also learn food words in English. If I see a fruit and do not know its name, I ask, "What is this in English?" I check, learn the word, and repeat it. Maybe I learn the word papaya. Then I say, "This is papaya. I like papaya." The next day, I say it again. Slowly, the word becomes part of my English and part of my voice. You do not need difficult grammar to talk about food. You only need your eyes, your hands, and your heart. Look at your lunch and speak about it. Use simple words. Say, "I have bread. I eat it. I like it." That is English. That is progress. If you are alone at lunch, talk to yourself. Say, "I am eating rice. It is hot. It tastes good." This is not silly. This is smart. This is how real speakers begin. Lunch is not just a break. It is practice time. Every bite can become a sentence. Every meal can become a lesson. You do not need a book or a class. You only need your voice. Sometimes I close my eyes and ask, "How do I say this in English?" I feel the food, find the words, and speak softly, slowly, and clearly. I eat every day so I can practice every day. That is the secret. Small practice, daily practice, speaking about real life. Real life is the best classroom. Tomorrow, when you eat lunch, say one sentence in English. Then say two. Then say three. Say them out loud and with pride. You are learning. You are growing. Keep going. Chapter 7. I come home. The day has been long and I feel tired. School is finished, or work is finished, and now I go home. I say, "I am going home." These simple words begin the evening part of my day. I walk to the bus stop and say, "I am waiting for the bus." When the bus arrives, I get on and say, "I am sitting down." I look out the window and say, "The sun is going down." I can feel the day ending, and I describe it in English. Some days I walk home and say, "I am walking to my house." I look at the sky and say, "The sky is orange." I see children playing and say, "They are playing football." I see shops and say, "The shops are open." These are not hard words, but they help me talk about the real world. When I reach my house, I open the door and say, I am home. Those words feel warm and safe. I take off my shoes and say, I am taking off my shoes. I put down my bag and say, I am putting my bag on the chair. These small sentences are my daily steps. I go to my room and say, this is my room. I sit on my bed and say, I feel tired. Then I smile and say, it was a good day, or I feel sleepy. These are my true feelings, and I speak them in English. That makes them powerful. I look around my home and name the things I see. This is my table. These are my books. This is my phone. Every item becomes a word. Every word becomes a sentence. Every sentence becomes learning. I go to the bathroom, wash my face, and say, I am washing my face. I look in the mirror and say, I see myself. I may be tired, but I feel proud. I spoke English today. I used my voice and my mind. Sometimes I sit with my family. I say, I am talking with my mother, or my brother is watching TV. I listen and speak simple sentences like, how was your day? When they answer, I say, that is nice. These are real talks and real steps forward. I also think about what I learned during the day. I ask myself, what new word did I say today? Then I repeat it and try to use it in a sentence. If I learned the word home, I say, I am home. I smile and repeat it. If I made mistakes, I do not feel bad. I tell myself, mistakes help me learn. Every speaker starts small, and now I am one of those speakers. I pick up my notebook and write one sentence. I write, I came home at 5 p.m. Then I write, I feel tired but proud. These are my words, my story, and my English. I do not wait for big moments to practice. I use small moments. I use real moments. The quiet time after coming home belongs to me, and that peaceful time helps me learn. I also talk to myself. I say, I had a long day. I studied hard. I talked with my friend. I ate lunch. I came home. It feels like telling my own story in English. One day, I could not say these things. Now, I can say them more easily. I did not learn them in one day. I learned them little by little, through real life and simple sentences. Coming home is not only the end of the day, it is also a time to look back and say, this was my day, in English. So when you come home today, take 1 minute. Say, I am home. I take off my shoes. I sit on my bed. I feel tired. I feel happy. Say it softly and clearly. That is your practice. That is your progress. You are not only coming home, you are coming closer to fluency, step by step, sentence by sentence. Keep going. You are doing great. Chapter 8. I watch TV or study English. The day is almost over. I come home, change my clothes, sit down and rest. My body is tired, but my mind can still learn. Now I do something I enjoy. I say, I am watching TV, or I am studying English. Sometimes I do both. I pick up the remote and say, I am turning on the TV. I look at the screen and say, this is a movie. This is a cartoon. Or, this is the news. If it is in English, I listen carefully and tell myself, I am listening to English. That is a big step and good practice. When I hear a new word, I ask, what does that word mean? I check it on my phone, write it down, and say it again. One new word is progress. One word is a gift. Sometimes I watch videos on my phone. I say, this is a YouTube video. Then I search for easy English videos. I listen, repeat, and smile because I understand more than I understood yesterday. I listen to the way people speak and copy their rhythm. This is called shadowing, and it helps my speaking. I say, this is my way of learning. I do not only watch, I learn and grow. Some days I do not watch TV. I open my notebook and say, I am studying now. I read my sentences aloud. I eat lunch. I go home. I watch TV. These are my words, my life, and my English. Then I write one sentence about my day. Maybe I write, today I was happy, or I talked to my friend, or I ate a banana. I read the sentence and write one more. That is how I build my skills, one line at a time. I also practice speaking. I say, I am speaking English now. I talk to myself in the mirror. I feel good today. I learned a new word. I said a new sentence. I speak slowly and listen to my voice. It makes me feel brave. Some days I feel lazy and do not want to study. Then I remember my goal. I want to speak English and connect with people. So I tell myself, just 1 minute, just one sentence. Then I begin. Often 1 minute becomes 5, and one sentence becomes 3. I feel glad that I started. I remember when English sounded like noise to me. Now I hear words. I hear meaning. I feel proud. That is not magic. It is time, effort, and practice. I also use learning apps. They show me pictures and words. I say the word and the app listens. When it says, "Good job," I smile. It feels like a small teacher in my pocket. Sometimes I listen to English songs. I say, "This is a song," and I sing along. I do not know every word, but I try. Even while resting, I am learning. At night, I write a short note. Today, I watched TV in English. I learned a new word. I practiced speaking. These notes remind me that I am moving forward. You do not need long hours or many books. You need small time, small focus, and a big heart. That is enough. You are enough. So tonight, when you watch TV or study English, say one line out loud. Say, I understand, I try, or I want to speak well. That is a promise to yourself. You are learning every day. You are doing something wonderful. Keep going. Keep believing. You are closer than you think. Chapter 9. I eat dinner and talk with family. Evening has arrived. The sky is dark and the lights are on. I hear sounds in the kitchen, plates, spoons, and voices. It is time for dinner. I feel hungry again, smile, and say, I am eating dinner. I go to the kitchen and see my family. My mother is cooking, my father is sitting, and my brother is laughing. I say, good evening. They say, come and sit with us. I sit down and feel warm, happy, and safe. I look at the food and say, this looks good, or this smells nice. I take a spoon, take a bite, and say, "It is hot," or "It is tasty." These words are easy, but they make me speak and help me join the moment. While we eat, we talk. My father asks, "How was your day?" I answer, "It was good. I learned a new word," or "I talked with my friend in English." My mother smiles and says, "That is nice." I feel proud, loved, and understood. We talk about school, work, food, and the small things that happen during the day. I say, "Today I was busy." "Today was fun," or "I was tired." These words are part of my story, and I share that story in English. My brother tells us about his day. I listen and ask, "Really? What happened next?" Or, "That is funny." We laugh, and English helps me join the conversation. Sometimes I teach my family a word. I say, "This means," in English. They listen, smile, and ask me more. I feel like a teacher, and that gives me joy. If no one is talking, I still speak to myself. I say, "I am eating rice. I am drinking water. I am sitting with my family." These small sentences are still practice, still power, still English. Sometimes we talk about tomorrow. I say, "Tomorrow I will study. I will watch a video," or "I will speak more." When I say my plan out loud, I believe it more. When I first began, I could not say anything at dinner. I ate quietly and stayed silent. Now I can say small things, join the talk, ask questions, and answer. That is a big win. Dinner is not only about food. It is about people and sharing. When I speak English during dinner, I feel progress and confidence. I also learn new food words. If I do not know a word, I ask, "What is this in English?" Then I repeat it. This is spinach. This is soup. This is spicy. I use the word again the next day, and slowly it becomes mine. After dinner, I help clean. I say, "I am washing the plates," or "I am drying the cups." I speak while I work. I say, "I like helping." "I feel full," or "That was good." These words are true, and that makes them strong. Speaking at dinner is easy because I am home and I feel safe. The people around me care. This is one of the best places to practice and grow. You do not need big grammar or long sentences. Even "I like this" or "That was nice" is enough. Dinner happens every day, so you can practice every day. Tonight, when you sit down to eat, say one thing in English. Say, "I eat dinner." "This is tasty." Or, "I feel happy." Speak softly, clearly, and with your heart. You are not just learning a language, you are building a life where you can speak, share, and use your words with confidence. Keep going. The table is not only a place to eat, it is a place to learn, connect, and grow. Chapter 10. I sleep and think in English. The day is over. The sky is dark. The room is quiet, and I feel sleepy. My body is tired, and my eyes begin to close. It is time to sleep. I say softly, "I am going to bed." I walk to my room and change my clothes. I say, "I am putting on my pajamas," or "I am wearing my nightdress." I fold my clothes and place them on a chair. I say, "I am keeping my clothes here." Every action can become practice. Every sentence can become English. I sit on the bed, look at the clock, and say, It is 10 o'clock. I feel peaceful. I take a deep breath and think about my day. I remember the morning and say, I woke up, I brushed my teeth, I ate breakfast. I remember school or work and say, I studied, I talked with friends, I came home. I remember dinner and say, I ate with my family, I spoke English. These small memories become small sentences, and those sentences become the story of my day. Now I lie down and say, I am lying on my bed. I pull up the blanket and say, I am covering myself. Then I close my eyes. Before I sleep, I do something special. I think in English. In my mind, I say, today was a good day. I spoke English. I learned new words. I made sentences. I feel proud and smile. This is my success. This is my journey. Some nights I speak out loud before I sleep. I say, I am strong. I am learning. I will speak English. These words go into my heart. I believe them, and they make me feel calm. I know I am not perfect. I make mistakes. I forget words, but I keep going. I tell myself, I will try again tomorrow. That is the power of practice. Not once, not twice, but every day. Sometimes I listen to English before sleeping. I play a short video with soft voices and simple words. I repeat the words in my mind. It feels peaceful, like learning in silence. My ears hear and my brain learns. I also imagine small stories. I think, I am walking in a park. I see a friend. I say, hello, how are you? I create the story in English and become the storyteller. This is fun, and it helps my English grow stronger. Before, I used to sleep in silence. I did not speak or think in English. I felt afraid and alone. Now I say one line before sleep. I am learning. I am growing. That makes me feel safe. English is not only for class. English is for life. Life happens every day, even at night and even when I am alone. That is why I use this quiet time. I know these small sentences can become big results. One day, I will speak English without fear. One day, I will speak to anyone, anywhere. I believe that, and every night I remind myself, I can do it. So tonight, before you sleep, try this. Say one sentence in English. Say, I feel tired. Today was good. Or, I want to learn more. Say it with love and hope. It does not have to be loud. It only has to be yours. Then rest, sleep, and begin again tomorrow.